in this part of the lesson for money on bass, I'm going to go over most of the main elements of the piece, and then I'll do a performance of the piece in another video. The main riff comes back a lot, so you really need to get this bar down. It's played mezzo piano to start with, so quite quietly. It's in 7/4, which is the main issue on this piece. It's a hard time signature to get your hands around and your mind around. It's really not usual for guitarists, to be honest. Our main riff goes like this. So we're going to play a 2 on our A string. Then we're going to play, it's essentially a big power chord. We're going to go 4, 4, 2. And then we're going to play a 2 on our thickest string, a 0 on our A string, a 2 on our A string, and then a 0 on our D string. One more time, it goes like this. And then the drums would come in here. And the vocals would come in here. So you do repeat this quite a lot. After 6 bars of that, we go to a very similar bar, but it's got a little bit of a difference. We're going to play 2, 0, 2, 2, 0, 2, 0. I'll do that a little bit slower and I'll tell you string names as well. 2 on the A, 0 on the D, 2 on the A, 2 on the E, 0 on the A, 2 on the A, and then 0 on the D. Then we go back to our main riff again. Then we go back to that slightly different bar. These are all crotchets, so it's a little bit easier. It goes, and then one more time our main riff. And although it doesn't feel like we've learned that much music, we've already done the first page of Money, so that's the first third really. And you've only had to play 2 bars. This is why it's a really good higher bass piece. There's not a massive amount of material for the length of the song that you have to do. A lot of the time for exams we're trying to play music that'll get us good marks, so that can sometimes mean easier pieces or a lot of repeats, things like that. Our next 2 bars are probably the parts that get my students the most, so let's go over them. I'm going to do this fairly quickly, but this is the start of the second page. We're going to play that again. I'm going to describe it a little bit better. So we're going to play this power chord starting on this note here, which is our F sharp. This is a 4th fret on our D string. So we're going to go. Then we're going to play 4, 4, 2. Same sort of power chord thing. Then we're going to play 5, 4, 4 on the E, the A, then the D. Then we're going to move backwards 1 note to the 3. I'm going to play 2, 2, 0. This looks like an E minor chord. Then we're going to play 3, 0, 2, 0. And go back to our normal riff at that point. At this point you would play that 4 more times, because you're going to have a sax solo playing over that. Then you're going to play a very similar sort of shape up here on 7th fret. You're going to go 7, 10, 7, 10, 7, 10, 7, 10. Then you come back down here and do it down here again. You do that 4 more times. We do another repeat of that really hard part, which started on our F sharp again. And then we're at the bottom of our second page. We're going to be playing a B. I'm going to be playing triplets. Now we're going to be playing them fortissimo, so super loud at that point. You should be doing a little crescendo up into the fortissimo part, and we're going to be playing those triplets for 2 bars. Now the next page, I'm going to try and get through this a little bit quicker. Our next page is the guitar solo part, and we're just going to be playing a bass line. The bass line goes like this. I would just use one finger just to keep things nice and easy. Now, if it was me playing that, I'd be using lots of fingers, but just to make sure you guys can see exactly what I'm doing, I'm just going to be playing 2, 2, 5, 4, 3, and then a very quick 1 before I repeat everything again. So 2, 2, 5, 4, 3, 1, and that's all on the A string. Now we're going to do that more or less for 2 whole lines. So it's going to go like this, and it's at 40 volume, so it should be quite loud. That was one line. And that was the end of the second line. We end on a different note at that point. And then this line is actually quite easy. It's the same rhythm as our last line, and it goes like this. Just follow the tab along for that one, and then we go back to our first line again. Now we've got 2 bars here, and these are quite fun to play. We're going to start with a 0, and this is the anacrusis. This is the half beat before this bar. This is the second last line of the song. We're going to go 0, 2, 2. And I'm going to play an octave up here on our pinky. And that was 4, 3, 2. We're going to do that again. 0, 2, 2. 4, 3, 2. Now this part is fortissimo, and all of these notes are a little bit separated. So we're going to go. Now these are really steady notes, and they're very loud. This is probably the loudest volume of the piece. And we're going to our last line, which is our outro. It's going to go. A couple of little things about our last line. We play our main riff for 2 bars. Halfway through the last bar, we're going to do a rallentando, which means slow it down. You will lose marks if you do not. And then we also have to do tremolando, which is this, on our last note. Tremolando just means play as fast as possible, but you don't have to do that very loudly. It's went back to mezzo forte at that point from fortissimo. So you're way up here, volume, and now you're down here. Okay. That's more or less the full piece. I'll upload a PDF for this one as well.